What's up, guys? This is Matt, and welcome to another video here on the SoFlo Soccer channel. This is day 8 of the Euros. Today is Group F and E, Georgia versus Czechia, Turkey versus Portugal, and Belgium versus Romania as the final game of the day. It's been a rather depressing day so far. You guys can't tell, but it's like here in South Florida, it's raining like crazy, and it's been a pretty slow morning this Saturday. And I can honestly say the same for how football is going today so far. Georgia and Czechia tying 1-1. I genuinely don't know how it was 1-1. The Euros really seems to surprise me every time that I watch it. The fact that these games are ending in ties or 0-0s, 1-1s. Like, how is this even happening? Look at this, 27 shots compared to Georgia's 5 shots to 1 target. Their 1 target was the penalty kick. Yeah, it was just absolutely insane what happened today. Insanely boring is what I mean. But yeah, Georgia versus Czechia, 1-1. Opening goal was a penalty kick. That's after Georgia was actually denied a goal due to VAR. It hit off somebody's hand. I forget who it was. But they ended up still scoring later on in the half, literally in the dying minutes of the half. Really 45 plus 4 minutes. 15 minutes in the second half, though, Sheik scored the equalizing goal. Apparently with the shot type of other body parts. You can use your imagination on that one. But yeah, the fact, if you just look at the shot map, look how many shots Czechia have actually taken throughout the entirety of the 90 minutes. These are just the shots from the first half, 13 in total, and look at Georgia's. Just 1 from the penalty kick and then 1 from all the way out here. And in the second half, it was literally the same thing. I'd be honestly tired as hell if I was Czechia, like going into this game. They absolutely should have won. This is what the table looks like now. Czechia are in 3rd, Georgia are in 4th. It's going to come up to the final day. Czechia are going to face Turkey in the last game of the group stage. So if Czechia actually win, they're going to go through automatically to the next round. Georgia are facing Portugal. There is no way in hell that Georgia are winning this game. Like, you cannot sit here and tell me that Portugal are going to fumble this game and tie it. And I mean, they've already secured their spot in the round of 16, but still, like, they should be beating Georgia no matter what. But essentially, if Georgia and Czechia both win their next game, one of them is going to have an automatic spot and the other is going to get 3rd place. So it's getting pretty interesting. Czechia should honestly have 4 points in the bag after that game. I still literally don't understand how they didn't, but it is what it is. Let's move on to the next game. Next up, it's Turkey versus Portugal. This was also a very interesting game, you could say. So obviously Turkey are going into this game coming from a 3-1 win against Georgia, and Portugal going in barely scraping a win from their first game against Czechia. So there's a lot to prove for Portugal in this game. They needed to play a lot better. They needed to prove something to their fans, to the world of football, that they can actually play the game, considering the fact that they have a pretty good lineup. I mean, just look at this lineup with Ronaldo, Fernandes, Silva, Vitinha, Paulinho, Leao, Mendes, Pepe, Diaz, Cancelo, Costa. This is a very strong team. Turkey is not a bad side at all. Turkey's a very good team. With a team like Portugal, I feel like you should be running circles around certain nations, aka France. Like, France are in an abysmal position right now. Like, I feel like Portugal would run circles around France if they actually played ball. But we don't see that happening, right? But yeah, Portugal were absolutely dominant from the first moment they scored that goal until the end. I mean, they obviously had this second own goal in the 28th minute. I mean, it was just absolutely terrible from the Turkish side. I mean, also, not to mention, I know I'm like kind of all over the place right now. Arda Güler came off the bench, as well as this guy Yildiz. Both of these players performed really well for Turkey in their first game. Güler obviously scoring that absolute golazo in that first game against Georgia. And yeah, both of them on the bench. So I have no clue what the reasoning for that was, but Akadin, however you say his name, just didn't even look at the goalkeeper when he was passing it back, and it just went straight into the net. But yeah, an absolute horrific display from Turkey. Portugal were the dominant side. And honestly, fun fact, this is the 6th own goal in this tournament. So if you want to think about it, there's group from A to F. That's A, B, C, D, E, F. That's 6 groups. If each group played 2 games, that means there were 12 games in total that were played. And if there are 6 current own goals in the tournament, that means in half of the games that were played, there were own goals. That's absolutely insane. But yeah, Portugal's goals were well put together. I mean, it was absolutely horrific defending from Turkey. They just were absolutely picked apart. Portugal were able to take advantage of it. Congratulations to them. Unfortunate for Turkey. They're probably not going to be going through, now that I'm thinking about it, if they continue to show this kind of display against Czechia. So yeah, I don't know. It's very uncertain. So we really have to wait until that final day to see who will go through and who will stay. But we know for sure that Portugal's going through. Let's move on to the last game of the day. Moving on to the final game of the day, Belgium versus Romania. Another, what I would assume to be wipeout of a game. Just, you know, doesn't end up as a wipeout. You would think that games like this or this tournament in general would be a little predictable, but it's not at all. And that's fine. That's okay. That's good. We don't want it to be predictable. We want to have surprises. But when those surprises, like props to Romania, they're coming off a 3-0 win against Ukraine, and that's something I definitely wasn't expecting. Belgium, on the other hand, are coming off a 1-0 shocking loss against Slovakia. There's just so many shots, like so many opportunities that Belgium just couldn't put away, especially Lukaku. I think he had like 5 shots in front of the net. I mean, looking at the stats again, just looking at stats alone, you can tell it was a very even game. And honestly, I'm very surprised that Romania didn't walk away with the goal. There was an opportunity like late in the game. There was a shot, I think it was this one, that got saved off the line. And this should have been a goal, but it wasn't. But yeah, I don't know. 2-0 for Belgium. I'm not really shocked. I'm not really surprised. They were bound to win. The only problem is that now they're second place. They're still not guaranteed. Nobody's guaranteed to go through to the next round. And this is probably the most interesting group, like in terms of points, I think. Like I was completely off when I was predicting this group. If I remember correctly, I had Belgium first, Ukraine second, Slovakia third, Romania fourth. There's always a surprise somewhere in these international tournaments. So in this case, it's Romania. So they're holding their own. They're really holding their own. Ukraine being, I think, the biggest disappointments. I mean, Belgium too, obviously, right? Especially after losing that first game. But I mean, I was hoping more from Ukraine. Ukraine versus Belgium is going to be the last game, and then Romania versus Slovakia. Romania versus Slovakia, I think, is going to be a really, really good game, and that's probably going to be the best game of this group. Ukraine versus Belgium should be pretty good. I mean, Belgium should be winning. However, Ukraine have just as much to play for as Belgium, honestly. Like, it's anybody's game, and that's literally what, like, you just never know. You would think that it'd be a little more predictable, but it's not, and that's the beauty of it. So, but that is going to be the end of this Euro Day 8 review. I always forget the days. I'm so sorry. Even though I like literally said it in the beginning of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button down below. And while you're down there, please hit the subscribe and turn the notification bell on so you don't miss a Euros recap. Copa America is on tonight, so I'm going to be watching that too. I'll probably talk about it if anything interesting happens, but it's going to be Venezuela versus Ecuador and then Mexico versus Jamaica, which I think is going to be a pretty good game. If something crazy happens, you're going to find a video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Anyways, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.